Hi gardeners, this is our student-made garden here at church with our homeschool co-op, and I thought I would unveil it. Students, we've had an interesting moment here because when I got here today, these were knocked down. It could have been an animal that tried to get through. That's a possibility. Notice that we've got a tear here. See that? But I think the mesh and the hoops did the job. I think it's kept our plants just fine. So I will move this away. By the way, only move 3 of the 4 sides. You can keep one side all nice and cozy, and that way you can unveil it. Yeah, a couple of leaves have gotten in, but our lettuce looks really fine. The black-seeded Simpson does have a habit of forming a stalk, as you can see here. The ground has a bit of moisture still in it. If anybody is going to be around over the weekend, this could use a watering. But other than that, it looks fine. These lettuce leaves are getting long, as you can see. We have more than 4 on a plant, so we can harvest. We always want to leave 4 inside growing. See, there's some of the growth leaves right here. Right in there. As we go down here, the red lettuce is trying, but it's having some troubles here. And that might be a soil thing. Our spinach are getting to the point where they can be harvested on the first crop here. And our onions are really looking nice. They look rotten. No, they look just fine for onions. And here's our garlic. We have a second garlic that has come up. We're not too worried about garlic and how fast they come up. They've got all winter. And we have a little space left here, right along here, where maybe we can put some other things. But we've got a nice garden here. The lettuce can be picked at any time we want. Leave 4 leaves on for future growth, and we'll have to get plenty of water into them. The spinach, the same thing. You can see they're a little stressed here. They've turned a little yellow, but last night we were below 40 degrees for some time, and that's where the mesh came in. I had a little bit of light frost on roofs where I was, but the mesh will keep that frost off, even if it had been knocked over as it was. And we saw that these posts weren't very sturdy. I put them in a little bit better when I came in, but maybe a strong wind or an animal knocked it down, but the mesh did the job. It protected the garden. Now, when we cover it back up, it's just a matter of pulling it tight against that side we never removed, and then tucking in the ends to bring this up off the ground over here. Remember, on the end, we don't roll it up, we go back and forth so that we are always putting our weight on the very end, not on the roll, and that way, if we accidentally make something go wrong, it goes wrong on the end and we don't have a hole deep inside, okay? Just remember, these things seem like they're trivial, but don't worry about people thinking that you're being trifling, because trifles lead to perfection, and perfection is no trifle. Now we've got plenty of slack in, and now we can just roll up the last side, or fold up the last side. Go back and forth so that the edge is where our weight is. There it is. Now we have a good mesh mesh that is protecting against 4 to 6 degrees of possible freeze, and it's protecting from animals. Animals aren't going to try to fight their way in because there's a lot of food elsewhere. We want to make them go to where it's easier to find food as long as it's not here. All right, so gardeners at home, if you're putting down your mesh, I use rocks or bricks on the edges. You can use wood like this. Just remember, fold the edges so that the end is where the weight is. That way, if you tear anything, only the end is torn. The hoops give plenty of room for water and air to flow through, but it also keeps any frost away from the plants, all right? Thanks much and have a happy Thanksgiving.